Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Dave, I believe this year, of all the years the Browns been in existence, the fate of the die-hard, passionate, and devotion of the Browns fans will be put to the ultimate breaking point on how the Browns perform in this upcoming season. Again, after Andrew Berry has waved his magical wand, the local and national media will be stating, on paper, the Browns have the roster to compete for the Super Bowl. So again, we the fans will be jumping on the Cedar Point ride called the Cleveland Browns. We stated up to this point the failure has been because we have not had the right quarterback. Now we have to put our hope and dreams that Deshaun Watson returns to the quarterback he once was. Last year we saw the defense and special teams was a disaster. The solution, hopefully, was the hiring of Jim Schwartz and Bubba Latrone. I've always stated that you can have the best roster on paper, but if you don't have the right coaches to mold those players and have the right players with the passion and desire to do what it takes to win, you're in trouble. The final and most important question remains, is Kevin Stefanski the right head coach and lead this team to the Super Bowl? If not, the die-hard passion of the Browns fans will be derailed for many years to come.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Yeah, Quincy, I mean, again, roster looks great, but let's see what happens on the field. You know what? Let's hope for a nice, quiet training camp, mini camp in preseason. We haven't had one of those. It was COVID, and then the whole, is Deshaun playing in week 3, week 5, week 7, week 11, so that'll be different.
Yeah, I mean, but we've been through this like the last 4 years. Like, I get what the caller's saying, but on the other hand, it's like this fan base been through 2019. They went through 1994, 1995, where they thought they were going to go to the Super Bowl, end the season with no football team, right? Like, the Browns fandom has been through enough that, like, a slight disappointing season is not going to be what breaks them, And we can say, well, they've been through so much. Not every fan was born in the same year. Not every fan has been through the same amount of experiences, and not every fan is at the same point that you are. So maybe for that caller, if the Browns don't win this year, that might do it for him, but that don't mean it's going to do it for everybody. The truth is that the Browns do need to live up to expectations, right? They're at the point to where it's hard to take them serious because every year they've had high expectations, and almost every year they've disappointed those expectations. So yes, they do need to deliver on these expectations, but I do not blame fans for having high expectations because, well, they should. How am I supposed to tell you to look at a roster with Deshaun Watson on it? Look at a roster with Amari Cooper on it. Look at a roster with Nick Chubb on it, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, J.O., like all these names that I'm probably forgetting like 5 or 6 guys here that are pretty good players and not have high hopes. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have high expectations when you look at that because the expectation should be high because the talent level is high. And as far as if Kevin Stefanski is the right coach, I don't know if right coach is the right term. He's good enough, right? Like, good enough coach wins a Super Bowl, right? Zach Taylor almost won a Super Bowl, came one play away from winning a Super Bowl. Is Zach Taylor the greatest coach in the world? No. Like, you can win a Super Bowl with the coach is good enough, and I think Kevin's more than good enough. So we'll see. We'll see how this season shakes out. Part of winning the Super Bowl, you need to get lucky. Will the Browns get lucky throughout the course of this season? Will this be their year? I don't know. But they do need to win, right? Like, because, people do get tired of that. But this is a different part of fandom, right? We've been mediocre. We've been worse than mediocre. We've just been bad for like 20 years that we forgot how much it sucks to be mediocre, right? Where you're just kind of good enough to almost be in it, but not really. You don't want to be here either, right? You want to be higher than here. You want to be perennial contender or dynasty team. You got to take these steps. So we'll see.